Hello everyone. I'm gonna record our week 6 question review slides. So first, let's see the first question. In the first question, it is asking which of the following statement about pressure is true. From what we learned this week, we know like the pressure of the gas is a result of the different gas molecules colliding with the surface of the container. That means the choice A is definitely the correct answer. Now let's see the second one. After creating a pressure difference, the atmosphere pressure can push a liquid up to straw. That is correct because the reason why we can drink through a straw is because when we drink, we are sucking the air from the straw into our lung, which makes the pressure within the straw a little bit lower than the pressure outside. So the higher pressure outside will just push the water or the drinks into the straw and then to our mouth. So based on this analysis, the choice B is also correct. And let's see choice C. Pressure is caused by the gas molecule colliding with the surface. That is true because that is actually the key point for the kinetic molecular theory. So the correct answer for the first question should be just choice D. All of the above statements are true. Now let's see the second question. The second question, it is asking you a 10 liter of balloon of gas at 25 degree is cooled to 0 degree. So what is the new volume of the balloon? So in this question is actually testing if you understand the principle of the Charles law, right? Because the relationship between the volume and the temperature has been given. So we know for the Charles law, it is V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2. So in this case, we know the V1 is 10 liter. Okay, this is 10 liter. And T1 is 25 degree. But remember, in Charles law, we definitely need to convert the Celsius into Kelvin. So we first need to convert 25 degree into Kelvin. So which is you use 25 plus 273.15. You got 298.15 Kelvin. So this should goes as the T1. Okay. And so this is an initial condition for the gas. And then the statement says when it is cooled to 0 degree, what will be the new volume? So basically it is giving the T2. So the T2 will be 0 degree converted into Kelvin. That will be 0 plus 273.15. You got 270.15 K. So this figure should goes to T1. So now you have T1, T2, and V1. So you can calculate the V2. So the correct answer for the V2 will be 9.16 liters. Okay. Second one, the third question. Third question is saying that the gas density can be calculated by dividing the mass of the gas by its volume. If we took a balloon of the gas and then warmed the balloon in a tiny window, what can now be said about the density of the gas in the balloon? So based on the statement, we know like the density equals the mass over the volume, right? So this question is saying that when you are warming up a balloon, it means we are increasing the temperature, right? We're increasing the temperature. So when the temperature increase, what will be the volume change for the gas? This is also about the Charles law because for the Charles law, we know the volume of the gas is actually proportional to its temperature, which means when the temperature increase, the volume of the gas will also increase. So the volume of the gas will also increase. So because the mass of the gas will never change, based on the density, the equation to calculate the density, when the mass does not change, if your denominator is increasing, that means your density will decrease because your denominator increase. So for this question, we know when the temperature is getting warmed, density will decrease for the gas. Okay, now let's see the next question. This question um, is asking you what will be the final volume of the balloon that was initially 1,000 milliliter at 25 degree and then heated to 50 degree. It is asking you the same thing about the Charles law. So in this question, it is given the initial temperature is 1,000, right? And initial initial temperature is 25 degrees. So 25 degrees still 200, 298.15 degrees. So we know V1 and T1. We also know T2 because it says it has been heated up to 50 degrees. The T2 will be 50 plus 273.15, right? And now since we know T1, T2, and V1, we can definitely calculate the V2. Okay, so the V2 will be 1,084 milliliter. Now let's see the next question. Next question is asking you if each of the following gas sample have the same temperature and same pressure, which sample have the greatest volume? Give you the 1 gram of argon, 1 gram of the hydrogen gas, 1 gram of the CO2, and 1 gram of the oxygen. Okay, so for this question, we need to first understand how we calculate the amount of the gas, because again, the the mass of the gas has been provided, but in chemistry, we don't want to use the mass. We always want to use number of mole, right? So in order to do that, we first need to find the molecular mass of the component, right? Of the component. We have just need to check the periodic table and find the molecular mass. Okay, so and then what we have to do is use the use the ideal gas equation, which is PV equals nRT to calculate. So which one have the greatest volume? From this function, we know the volume can be represented as nRT divided by the temperature P. Okay, and since from the statement of this question, it says uh, it says uh, it says this, it says the temperature and the pressure are constant, which means T is constant, pressure is constant. We also know the R is constant because R is always 0.0821, right? Which means since T, R, T, P are all constant, the change of the volume will be solely determined by the change of the amount of the gas. So we just need to figure out which of the following four statements have the most amount. Although they have the same mass, but their amount in mole will be different because their molecular mass will be different. So to get the amount, we can use the mass divided by the molecular mass. So after calculation, the correct answer would be the hydrogen. 1 gram of the hydrogen will give you the highest, will give you the greatest volume. Okay, now let's see the next question. Next question is asking, what is the volume of 14 gram of the nitrogen at STP? So as we discussed, under the STP, if there's 1 mole of the gas, its volume will always be 22.4 liter. So basically this question is asking you what is the volume of 14 gram of the nitrogen. We just need to convert 14.0 gram of the nitrogen to the mole of nitrogen. Okay, so for N2, we know its molecular mass is 28 gram per mole. So 14 gram of the nitrogen will give us 0.5 mole. So we know 1 mole will give us 22.4 liter. So 0.5 mole will definitely give us the half of 22.4 liter, which is 11.2 liter. So this question, the correct answer will be 11.2. Okay, next question. It is asking you if the number of mole of a gas initially contained in a 2.1 liter of the vessel is doubled, what will be the final volume of the gas in liter? This question is testing whether you understand the Avogadro law. So the Avogadro law says the volume of the gas is proportional to the amount of the gas. Okay, so which means if you doubled the amount, if you doubled the amount of the gas, the volume of the gas will definitely also doubled. Okay, so the initial volume is 2.10 liter. So after doubling, you will get 4.20 liter. This actually makes sense. Think about you're trying to blow a balloon, right? And you just give it twice much as amount of the gas in the balloon. So the volume of the balloon will definitely be doubled. Okay, so the final volume will be 4.2. Now let's see another question. Another question is about the solution. Uh, this question is asking you which compound below form an electrolyte solution when dissolved in water. So the correct answer will be potassium chloride, because potassium chloride will completely dissociate into potassium ion and chloride ion. Other three choices, sucrose, carbon dioxide, and ethanol, stay as molecules. They don't change into ions, so they are not electrolyte. Okay. Next question. It is asking you when we dissolve 2.45 gram of the sodium chloride in 200 gram of water, what will be the mass percent? The mass percent, actually equals to the mass of the solute divided by the mass of the solution. So this is quite straightforward. You can just plug in the numbers, which is 2.45 gram and 2.45 gram added by 200 gram. So 2.45 is a solute and 200 is a solvent. Okay, so the final result will be 1.21%. Next question. This question is asking how many moles of the potassium hydroxide are contained in 750 milliliter of 5 molar of the potassium hydroxide solution. Okay, we know for the molarity will equal to the amount of the solute over the volume of the solution. Okay, so the amount of the solute will be molarity multiplied the volume of the solution. So molarity is 5 molar. And the solution volume is also given. It's 750 milliliter. 750 milliliter, but make sure we need to use the unit of liter in order to calculate. So we need to convert 750 milliliter into liter, which is 0.75 liter. That will give you 3.75 mole of the potassium hydroxide. Okay. Next question. This question is asking you which one of the following aqueous solution would have a higher concentration of the potassium ion, assuming the total solubility of water is same. So, because the concentration of these three choices are all the same. The first one, it will give you 1 molar concentration of the potassium. Second one, it will give you 3 molar concentration of the potassium because there's a 3 subscript for the potassium. And third one, it will just give you 2 molar of the potassium ion. So the correct answer will be the choice B, potassium phosphate. Next question. This question is about the dilution. Question is asking what volume of 12 molar of the chloric acid is required to make 75 milliliter of 3.5 molar of the chloric acid. From the solution dilution equation, we know M1 V1 equal M2 V2. And M2 and V2 are provided, right? M2 is 3.5 molar, and V2 is 75.0 milliliter. We also know the M1. M1 is 12 molar. So what will be the V1? V1 will just be M2 multiplied by V2 divided by M1. That is quite straightforward. And the correct answer would be 21.9 milliliter. Okay. Next question. Next question is asking what volume of 2 molar of the potassium chloride solution contain 25 gram of the potassium chloride. This question is also asking you about this molarity equation. So we know this equation, so we can express the volume equals the amount of the solute divided by the molarity, right? And the amount of the solute is actually given is 25.0 gram. 25.0 gram. We need to first convert 25.0 gram into mole by finding out the molecular mass of the potassium chloride, which we can refer to the periodic table. Okay, and we know the molarity is 2.0, so this will be 2. So it will be quite straightforward, and the volume will be 0.168 liter. Next question. In the solution, the substance that is present in a greater amount is called solvent. That is the definition of the solution. So in a solution, the solvent will have a higher amount and the solute will have a lower amount. Okay. Last question. Which one below is a strong electrolyte and which one is a non-electrolyte? The strong electrolyte usually are ionic compound. Okay, ionic compound are something that can dissolve and dissociate into ions in the water. So we know sodium chloride, magnesium chloride can completely dissociate into ions. as well as this HCl, chloric acid. So all of these three are the strong electrolyte. For non-electrolyte, they just stay as a molecular form. So the non-electrolyte will include the ethanol and cyclohexane. Okay, so this is everything for this week 6 question review slides. I hope it is helpful for you to study and understand the concept of this chapter. And if you have any other questions, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to help. Thank you.